Okay, we're now going to go to what was 10.2, which is now 10.4. It's the second reading of policy GCK, GCK-R, which are professional staff assignments and transfers. We went over this in a good bit of detail last time, and I think Mr. Stacy's now joining us. We'll go ahead and get a motion on the floor again, and then we'll open it up for discussion. And this is one of three policies. They're all very similar, so we're going to address all three of these at one time. So do I hear a motion to approve policy GCK, GCK-R, professional, I think it's professional one, or I, staff assignments and transfers? I don't know that's how it's written. Do I have a motion to approve this policy?
I so move.
Okay, we've got a motion from Ms. Green. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second from Mr. Oswald. Okay, and now we're going to turn it over to Mr. Stacy. Mr. Stacy, you want to walk us through this, and then we'll see if we have any questions or comments, and then we'll take a vote.
Yes, again, this is just a policy to kind of update our practice. It really talks about electronic transfers more than anything else. We do everything online now. In the old policy, we had paper forms that had to be completed. And so this just gets us more into the current times.
So funny, today, of all times, we definitely need everything we can on the computer, don't we?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Board, are there any questions or comments regarding this policy before we take a vote? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor of the policy as presented by Mr. Stacy, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and it is unanimous. We're now going to go to what was 10.3, which is now 10.5, which is the second reading of policy GCO, GCO-R. It's the evaluation of administrators. Do I hear a motion to approve policy GCO, GCO-R, evaluation of administrators as presented?
I so move.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Oswald. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. We now have a motion and a second on the floor. Are there any, Mr. Stacy, you want to just tee this one up, and then we'll open it up for discussion?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, the change here is that we're just making it more with the new requirements for PDEP for the principal evaluation. And then we've added a piece in here about district office administrators and people other than principals and their evaluation.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mr. Stacy. Are there any questions or comments about this policy with the changes that Mr. Stacy has presented? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries, and it is unanimous. We're now going to go to what was 10.4, which is now 10.6, second reading of policy GCOA, evaluation of instructional staff. Do I hear a motion to approve policy GCOA, evaluation of instructional staff as presented?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Ms. Green. We now have a motion and a second on the floor. Mr. Stacy, you want to walk us through this one?
And again, this was a policy that you had just visited just recently within the last year. What we recognize is we'd left out one little piece of it where we have teachers that might be on an annual contract in their fourth or fifth year, international teachers. And so this just shores that up with making sure that teachers that are on the annual contract can be evaluated using a GBE annual-based process.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stacy. Are there any questions or comments regarding policy GCOA? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All in favor of policy GCOA, evaluation of instructional staff as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries, and it is unanimous.